Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome, hey Vinny, to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, in the middle of the mosh pit, it's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
Arg, ringside crew. Arg, internationally known. Arg, everybody. Arg, Joe. How's it go? Arg, Joey today.
Arg, Joe? Arg, you a little zombie now?
Arg, mateys.
So, Geek, you have any announcements, anything that happened with you last night, fella?
Oh man, great show. All I'm gonna say is, if I am truly now a believer and a fan of Remarkable Pro Wrestling. So fans, if you've not been to Remarkable Pro Wrestling, please buy your tickets to the next show. The next show is going to be a 5-on-5 steel cage match, and it is going to be all titles on the line. It's going to be ridiculous.
Like a Mania almost, right?
Yes, exactly. That's going to be a ridiculous match, though. 5-on-5, like a war games.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like a war game style match. So I'm excited, and that ladder match last night, absolutely epic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That far.
That far. So I'm giving this promotion very, very high praise.
Okay, so would you give how many stars?
I'd give it like a 9.5. That show was really that show was really good. Yeah.
All right. Big news for me. Breaking news: Joe Panther the Third of this podcast, Dudes at Ringside, will be attending the Rock and Roll Show with ISPW on May. I'll get back to you on the date, but in May.
May 6th.
May 6th, yes. On May
6th. Because I will be at the VPW show, which is also on May 6th. So there you go. You'll
be seeing 2 different lives on Instagram at different times.
So
it's going to be legit.
All right.
A good day for the dudes. All right, Geekums, introduce our guest.
All right, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest today, Arg Mateys, Rodrick the Rambunctious.
Oh, hello, me old mates. Rodrick the Rambunctious. How's it going, Ringside crew?
How's it going
on, Rodrick? Welcome. So, if our American/international guests are not familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
Right, my name is Rodrick the Rambunctious. There was many rumors going around that I'm intoxicated. That is not true. I am displaced in time. I was not born in this time. I am technically 38 years old, but I was born back in the 1600s. I was there in the golden age of piracy, and then shortly after I ascended to the rank of captain, I found out my crew was going to mutiny. There was a storm, and I woke up on the shores of Portsmouth, which is in the south of England, in the year 2012. And I saw a poster for wrestling. Everything was alien to me. Nothing made any sense. But I saw a poster for this physical form of aggression, and suddenly I felt at home. And I've been wrestling ever since.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
So who's right now is your dream opponent on the indies right now? Who are you scouting right now that you really want to mix it up with?
Well, can I go back a little bit, right? Can I talk about the dream matches that I've already had, so I can explain why I've got to those new dream matches? Okay, so let's start with one of the matches I wanted to have for so long, and I actually had it in 2022. Actually, in the last match of a charity tournament, we raised hundreds of pounds for a charity, a very good charity called Enable Ability again in Portsmouth, and it was with my coach, the Prince of Mumbai, Rishi Ghosh. He's been mentioned before on the show. He had a small part in Fighting with My Family. He's absolutely a legendary name down the south of England. You guys, I know you love your indie promotions. Have you guys heard of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance?
Frontier.
Not really.
No,
So they were
never heard of them.
groundbreaking, and you have heard of lots of names that came out of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance.
Yes,
Okay, you need to
Alice
Google
is
those
right.
guys. And Rishi Ghosh was one of them. So he was tussling with some huge names, and back in 2004, and so they were making absolute groundbreaking progress down in the south of England. And I wanted to have a match with him. I had my match with him, and he has just announced that this is his retirement tour coming up. He is wrapping it up, so I've just got in there just in time. I'm really pleased with that. Another name from the SWF is a guy called Ian Logan. Now, this guy, again, he's had lots and lots of experiences, but been around for ages. He's got some pretty deplorable views when it comes to how to work in the ring, some dastardly tactics. And I had a match for him with him for a championship a long time ago, and I was really pleased to have that. His brother is also a wrestler. He's quite the academic. He's actually got his doctorate. He's actually a Ghostbuster.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was quite a match for me. I mean, there was some confusion. He busts spirits. I drink spirits allegedly. You can see where the confusion comes from. But that was a fantastic match. And you know what? That was one of the only matches I've done which wasn't captured on film. So I have tried to capture it in Lego because that was the best I could do.
I heard about that Ghostbuster. I just can't find him on Instagram.
Oh, you'll find him. Find him on Facebook. He's definitely on Facebook, and you'll see him quite a bit coming up in my Instagram as well. Go troll back through my Instagram. You will see him.
Okay.
And then there's a tag team called Vicious and Delicious. They do occasionally go solo. So presumably, although it's never been announced, presumably when they are solo, they are docile and delicious and vicious and ugly, but we never actually specify that. But they were a fantastic team. And actually a little snippet today on Instagram, I put a little snip from a reel where I gave one of them a peg leg. It was just such a fun match, really fun match. I'd love to work them again. I've had 2 matches with them. The first time my team won, the Pirates won. The second time we had to sub someone in quick. It was for the title, the tag team titles, the Quality Wrestling tag team titles, that is. And sadly, they were victorious on that day. So the deciders got to be coming up, mateys.
Yeah.
It's all to play for.
Yes. So what?
Now we're ready for the new. To answer your question, Mel Geek. Now we're ready. So Rishi Ghosh has a brother, Tiger Raj. He's also been around for many years. He was also part of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance. He's also a head trainer at Quality Wrestling Academy. I want to go against the other head trainer at Quality Wrestling Academy. Now, he tends to do 3 or 4 shows a year, and I believe he's already done 1. So I want to be one of those remaining 3.
Wow.
And then there's also a guy on the South Coast circuit who terrifies me. He's just really intense. He has a chain around his neck. He's got the bald head. He is the Bruiser, Samuel Jacobs, and he is absolutely terrifying. And I need to prove to myself that I can go toe-to-toe with this guy. Actually, in the audience watching him recently, he's intense, he's strong, but he's also really agile. His chops look devastating. I just want to know I can do it. But now, can I also answer that question on a fantasy note? Can I go to
yes.
It isn't going to happen.
Note.
Right. Okay. So first of all, fantasy-wise, I would like a match with Santino Marella. I think we could have a very entertaining little jape there. I would like a match with Bull Nakano. Arguably Bull Nakano when she was wrestling, but Bull Nakano. You guys remember Bull Nakano?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Fantastic look. Just fantastic look. Fantastic monster heel. And then a match which one of my fan artists did one of the very early pieces of fan art I had years ago, and I thought, yeah, that could be fun. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Ooh.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, so that'd be fun. Cool. Great question, Mitty. Thank you very much.
No problem.
You next, Geek?
No. You got no. You. I just
So,
asked.
well, now we know your dream matches. So, who trained you? You said.
So-
You said.
Yeah, Quality Wrestling Academy, Rishi Ghosh and Tiger Raj, Army trainers. Now, actually, I was seeing Rishi Ghosh before Quality Wrestling Academy was a thing. I used to go with him one-on-one for private hires before that. So I've been seeing him since about 2017. That was really when it was, as I say, I've been doing stuff since, training since 2012, but it was when he started establishing himself, 2017. That's when I really felt that it was all kicking off. That's when I felt I found a trainer that really, knew his stuff. This was legit. I could go 100 miles an hour and stuff was going to happen. That's to me when it all started going together. And when he announced he was going to just do this completely for a living and start up his own premises and his own school and his own promotion, because Quality Wrestling Academy only was out for about 6 months before they started their own shows, which was way ahead of where they intended to be. But that was the quality, no pun intended, that they were getting out of it. So it became its own promotion with its own roster, and it's been a lot of fun. Of fun.
So what made you want to become a pirate? I mean, you could have been anything, man. So what made you want to become a pirate? Exactly.
Well, we got to go back to what life was like back about 300 years ago, and it was pretty tough. But also, there was a lot of press ganging. So I was press ganged. I didn't have any choice in it. The only choice I really had was whether or not, if I was, freed by the authorities, of whether or not I was gonna then, work with them and help get rid of the guys that had press ganged me. So I didn't really have much choice in it. It was said that I'm not the nicest human being, but I'm a lovely drunk. And it is argued that that had a lot to do with some of the decisions that I made at that time. And, there's a lot of misconceptions about what piracy was like in those days. A lot of misconceptions. It was a desperate struggle. People sort of talk about the cost of living crisis now. Maybe we are in a situation we can talk about this. But once you became a pirate, the average life expectancy, because when you were caught, you were going to be killed, usually hanged until death. And the average life expectancy was 2 years. So it was a desperate choice made by desperate people. And mainly what was being taken was not all kinds of fancy jewels, because it's stolen goods. Where are you going to sell it? Mainly it was just stuff people needed to survive and sustain this life where nobody was going to tell them what to do other than the colleagues on their boat. So it was mainly stuff like apples, soap, which never gets mentioned in the fantasy books. It was salted meat. It was all that kind of stuff. So it was about living the dream. It was the same thing that people go for when they're going into wrestling. It was about living the dream. And just like when people are in wrestling now, in order to really succeed in piracy, you had to be good at branding. You had people had to know which guy you were and why they should be worried about you, why they should give you your stuff. This, for example, is my logo. This obviously is a logo that I have had made since I find myself in your time, and it actually was made by, thank you, and this was made by a guy that you have kind of mentioned vicariously. You talked about Coventry Pro Wrestling. They have a guy called Dominic DeWinter down there. DeWinter designed this. Have you guys ever looked up Dominic DeWinter and DeWinter?
Gotta look him up.
No, I'm not.
We'll look him up later. Yeah.
Look him up, because you know what? That is a fantastic way to find out the up and coming stars who are serious about the wrestling, who are actually going to invest, the time and get their merch looking good and get their stuff looking good.
Yeah.
So if you were to have a pirate stable, like a pirate crew, who would be on your crew? And this is to pick out from the independent wrestling. You can pick out independent wrestling and fantasy as well.
So I actually have got a stable in Quality Wrestling. There is a group called the Pirates, we do what we do, and there's Who have we got? We have got Percy Swindles. We have got Archie the Cabin Boy. We have got the Wolf of the Sea, and we have got Pirate Jim. Actually, the rules of how you become the leader of the pirates, unfortunately, it seems lend themselves to be a little exploitable. I'm not going to say what they are in case anyone does this listening to this show, but actually, one of my arch nemesis, the witch Shred Malice, actually became the leader of the pirates at one point because he exploited this loophole. So it was actually easier than it should be. We probably should have some sort of societal arrangement at some point whereby we change the rules as to how to become the leader. But yeah, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for loyalty because all my followers are my loyal crew as well. So it's the same thing I want from my stable. I want loyalty, and I think that is the most important thing, really. I think from then there are other things that can be helpful, but as long as they're fun to be around and we're all working together and we're gonna share our booty, then we're good.
It's always good to share the booty for your friends.
Always share the booty. Yep. Did not think that one through before I said it, but here we are.
talking about pirates' booty?
Yes, Geek. He's so confused. He's like, we're gonna get in trouble for this.
Are we talking about pirates' booty?
What?
Because those are some good chips right there. Pirates' booty chips.
Yeah. My luck, I'll eat the whole bag and I'll realize I ate it. I'm like, sorry. You have any napkins? That's always me. Messy hands. Yeah. Geek, next question.
We are here for Savage Sundays.
Yes.
Should we go on to Savage?
Yeah, yes. Let's start talking about Savage.
What's your thoughts on the episodes so far?
So, standing out to me, I don't like Zhivago. Okay. Now I know Jensen said this.
Really?
I know you guys are with me as well, but
I'm not
liking. You're not with me? Okay.
He's obsessed with Zhivago. I'm like, dude, get over Zhivago.
No, I'm not liking Zhivago. He's annoying me. He's one of those guys that seems to think he knows a lot about wrestling.
He's got some good Kool-Aid though.
Maybe. I'm not agreeing with his choices. All those. Okay, I like loyalty. Right, all those fans are queuing up, and he sends them all away and has an empty arena. That is not the loyalty that I would show to my fans. If I say I'm going to be somewhere, I am going to be there, and I will be there, and I will be the guy that stays around for however long I need to afterwards. Talking to my fans, doing pictures, signing autographs, selling him some pirated merchandise, perhaps. You didn't hear that from me, of course. But for me, that loyalty is important. So I don't like what Zhivago is doing. And you know what? Frankly, I think I could do a better job myself. So I would be very interested. Now, I don't know, the rules of being the general manager of Savage seem to be a little more orthodox than the rules of being the leader of my pirate group. But if there were a way whereby I could become the general manager of Savage and not Zhivago, I would take it. I think I could do a better job than him. Now, if I were to do that, what would you like me to do? What do you want to see me do? My first decree.
I want you to crown a women's champion in Savage Pro Wrestling.
You want a women's champion? All right.
Yes. We need a women's champion.
All right.
We need to get more. We need more women in Savage, though.
That's another. There's plenty of young and older women that have wrestled in the UK that we've watched, like the Kiaras, the Alfies, Shorties, Levi Brooks, people like that, Vicky Two Thumbs, people like that are like, dude, is killing it right now, right, Geek? In the indies in the UK, it's just like, we're in America. And I started watching the UK wrestling scene, and I'm just like, what? Like, wow.
One thing I would love to see is more American wrestlers in Savage. That would be that's an idea right there,
Yeah.
You have to start watching the American indie scene, Rodrick, because it may be hot over there in England, but you have to put an ice cube on your forehead just looking on the YouTube box. It's crazy, right, Geek? I mean,
indies in general are just crazy, .
Like it's hard to send people one place,
Okay. More Americans and more female wrestlers in Savage.
Yes.
Okay, I'll see what I can do, mates. I have
Less
to become
Savargo.
general manager first. I have to
And
find out how to do that, but I'm pretty set on this. I think I could do a better job.
less Savargo. Ugh.
Yeah, I
No,
agree.
we need more Savargo. What are you talking about, Joe? Man, he has the right ideas. Is what he's doing. This Savargo guy, right?
Such a little follower geek. Jeez.
So one thing I've always wanted to do, and I said this before, this isn't an exclusive, unfortunately, this particular thing. I've said this before on podcasts. This, by the way, is my first live podcast. So thank you very much for this. Yeah, first live. And I love, audience, love lots and lots of interaction, lots of comments, please, lots of questions. I love some questions from you. So it'd be lovely to exploit the liveness of this. But one thing I've always wanted to do is mix it up a little bit. People talk about all kinds of crazy stipulation matches, right? But no one's ever suggested, other than me, a candlelit supper. And I'm not talking about a candlelit supper match. I'm talking about a candlelit supper, because it seems to me that in wrestling, it's always about how vicious, how vicious you can go, and how that's dangerous. Oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, let's just sit people down. Let's sit two 20-stone guys down, with some delicacies in front of them, and let's go through all the intricacies of what happened. Imagine, right? Come on, tell me two big, heavy-set gentlemen from Savage. Give me two names.
Jack Napalm.
I would have to say their champion right now, Sears.
Right.
Have Sears versus Big Benny.
Big Benny, right? Okay.
Big Benny. Yeah, Big Benny.
Who do you think is the bigger out of Sears and Big Benny? Pound for pound.
Wait, big? I would see Benny, but Sears is tall, so he's big the other direction.
Okay. And do you think they'd eat the same amount?
I don't think so. I think Sears looks like he's more brute, and Benny's big, girthy, big because he's a chubby guy.
Because then imagine at the end, the suspense at the end, who's going to pay for it? Is one going to pay for it? Could they eat more? Are they going to go Dutch? Would that be fair? If one of them's eat more than the other, there's a huge minefield that could come out of this. What if they had one of those Lady in the Trap moments? What would happen then? Anything could happen in a candlelit supper. What are you thinking? Do you want to see a candlelit supper in Savage Wrestling?
Yes.
I thought you might.
Yeah, Jack Napalm's another impressive guy.
Yes, Jack Napalm. Jack Napalm.
Yeah. I think he could eat at least 3 or 4 buckets of KFC in one sitting.
I think he could eat 3 or 4 members of the Savage roster. I said
eat them up like a.
Would you be on the menu, Rodrick, or would you try to stay away?
I would do my best not to. I always have a life expectancy of 2 years. I've been going for quite some time. It's not because I put myself on a plate.
Rikishi versus Andre the Giant.
Yeah, you see, there's so much mileage in this, isn't there? You see, now we've got the dream candlelit supper matches coming up.
There we go, man.
And we know Andre could just inhale beers. He'll have the beer in his hand, and you won't be able to see it. You just.
I would love to see Ishii versus Brock Lesnar in one of those matches.
Right.
Yeah, Tomohiro Ishii. There you go.
Brock would rip the turkey in half and just keep
Ishii. Have you seen Ishii? He's crazy, man. Nothing phases that guy, man. He loves the challenge. Well,
so maybe a candlelit supper. Now, I would like to bring more stipulation matches. If I were GM, I'd like to put some stipulation matches in place. Now, maybe I'd like to claim these for myself, but okay. So picture this. I'm thinking it's got to be practical, right? So, walk the plank match. Let's take the components. Now, these are very confusing matches potentially, but the bull rope matches, the Caribbean strap matches, those 4 corner matches, right? They can be quite confusing. I think. I don't know if you agree with me, but it can be quite confusing to know what to do, right? How about this? So, walk the plank match. All you got to do is on 2 sides of the ring, you've got to make your opponent, whilst they're on the audience side of the rope, on the apron, you've got to make them touch 2 posts next to each other. So you've got to walk them along that plank that is the apron. And that's all you got to do. If they get through the ropes, then you've broken the momentum. You've got to start all over again. So you got to make sure their head, let's say head. Let's make it exciting. They've got to touch the head of the top turnbuckle of one side, and you've got to walk them across that plank to the other side, and then you are the winner. Okay, I think that could be a thing. What do you think?
That'd be kind of cool, right?
I love that idea, actually, man. We should just have
simple,
a whole. There should be just a whole episode dedicated to Rodrick the Rambunctious, man.
Thank you
Just
very
matches
much.
he would do. Like,
And do you think Zavago would allow that? Do you think Zavago would give a Rodrick episode?
I
'Cause
don't
I
think
would.
so. I would.
do.
I would be all for it. I have to
Thank you
talk
very
to
much.
get to
So-
talk to Geek's best friend, Mr. Savargo.
I mean, I don't think Savargo would go for that because he likes to be empowering and control, man. But
Right.
you got to talk to the boss, man. He's the boss. It's his vision.
He's a little bit scared. He doesn't want to lose his bestie Savargo. He has that framed picture of him and Savargo when they went to Disney by the castle, like in his bedroom.
Still collecting paychecks. Still collecting paychecks.
What paychecks?
What? What?
Geek paychecks.
What? What did I say?
Why are you acting like you're in space, Geek? What is this? Rodrick, he's getting paid? What?
I didn't say paid. I didn't say anything about getting paid. I care.
So, I mean, you think he's being paid to do a better job, wouldn't you? Think it has some incentive?
Yeah. He wouldn't be stuttering like a little girl that just saw a Backstreet Boy in the 90s. Here we go. I have a question for you, Rodrick.
Go ahead.
So when you're sailing on your boat, what is your go-to song to play in the background, or do you just like make your own music as you're sailing?
No, so so I've actually been lucky enough to come in contact with a British group. I believe they are still independent, called the Whipjacks. They have been played on the BBC, they've actually allowed me to use some of their music. So I would urge anyone to go and listen to some of the Whipjacks. Now, when I make my reels, their music is actually on there, so they are that big that they are on the real music. They are known. They have several EPs out at the moment. They are trying to really make it big. They are, what do they call themselves? Speed folk. But there's very much a fun aspect to them, and very much a piratical aspect to what they do as well. I'd love to be in one of their music videos. I would absolutely love that. The music that I use from them, so most of the music I use in my videos is My Madness Molly Murphy, which I find very, very catchy. But actually their entire EP, their entire body of work is really, really cool. So I would go and check them out. It will be easy to do. It's all over YouTube. You can make a reel and you can find their stuff easily. They're that easy to find. So do yourself a favor and you'll really enjoy it. I did one pod actually where we just sat down and listened to the whole EP for an hour because it's just that much fun. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
That's one of our podcast friends, Savage.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
I saw you coming up last week. Yes.
Yeah. He was a good guy. So yeah.
He saw the name and
he wants to hear Rodrick cut a promo now.
Right. Who should I cut it on? Who do you want me to hear cut it on? Savago. Can I do it on Savago?
Yes. He
wants to know who should cut it on Savage. Who do you think?
All right. Hey, hello, Savage Pro Wrestling. Rodrick the Rambunctious here. Now, Savago, you've been going around talking about what you do and what you dare, but you have dared to catch my eye, mateys. So I am challenging you to a walk the plank match, and the winner will become the general manager of Savage.
Clip that. That was great, man. So where's a place that you would love to take the boat to? Your sailboat.
Or
sailboat,
right?
Yeah, your pirate boat.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
You know what? This is a really legitimate question, Metal Geek, because so many promotions just are not near a port. Quality Wrestling has just moved their training facility away from the port. It was right next to the harbor, and they're pushing their luck. I've got to be honest with you. I'm going to keep going back there because I'm loyal, but seriously, this is a consideration. So where are their good ports? Well, the South Coast is a great place to be because there are so many ports. So there are places in Southampton and Portsmouth are usually the best places to find me. I have done loads and loads of great work with Quality, and I'm really, really proud of the body of work I got with Quality. I seem to be one of their go-to guys, and I've done shows that, like a handful of people, like there'll be 6 wrestlers on the show, and I'm one of those shows. I've done loads and loads of their smaller shows as well as all their big shows. And I've done many, many more shows than lots of other guys from Quality because I'm picked for those small shows. So that's a huge, huge honor. I would love to get on into other promotions. So I've been doing stuff with Kapow and SWF. You heard of those guys?
I heard. That name sounds so familiar. Kapow. What
Look them
part of
up.
England
I,
is
I
it
sat
from?
in the audience for one of their shows a few weeks ago, and it's in a tiny village, and they still, they still put on such a fantastic show. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. Really, really good stuff. And so many great names, and so many of the names I mentioned earlier were, part of their roster. So I'd love to be, I've been doing rumbles with them. I've got a rumble coming up next week, and yeah, I would love to do more work with them. Really work my way up the card with those guys. Who else? There's another group, very, very similar, and there's some guys that will do both shows called Knockout Wrestling Entertainment. Have you heard of those guys?
No, never heard of that one.
So some guys I mentioned earlier. So Breaking Up, Vicious and Delicious, Antler Dash, and the Hitman for Hire. Those guys are on it. Ian Logan, he'll be there. The Ghostbuster, he'll be on those shows. Rishi Gus, Prince of Mumbai. But another guy who's exclusive to KWE and also to Quality Wrestling is Mr. Miserable Matt McGee. I've tussled this guy a few times. He has a rubbish attitude to life in general, but he's a fantastic wrestler. So it's a great honor to work with him in the ring. There was a question there. I missed it. What was it?
What? Which one? It said just said great stuff. That's all.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be on those shows, and I've done some stuff with those guys as well. I did a battle royal. I was involved in a 6-on-6 match, intergender 6-on-6 match last time. They got a group called Better Than You. Just like, what a terrible, what a terrible attitude to have. So they needed taking down a peg or two. I'm not sure we did that, by the way, but yeah, there's still scope there, isn't there? But KWE, fantastic. Please look those guys up. They do about 3 shows a year. If you're lucky enough to go and see them.
Oh wow, that's it.
They are fantastic, really, exclusive stuff. I'd love to do more work with them. And you know what? Thinking about the places with ports, there are ports in Kent. So there's a newish promotion coming up there, and I am interested. In that. Watch this space for now, mateys. If anything can be made official, then I'll announce it, and you'll know about it then. But places which are around that sort of. Kent is not down the south coast, but places around that sort of base of England, near a coast, I am definitely interested in. Yeah, and I will say that there was a time when I did like 4 shows a year and I enjoyed it. That's all I needed. And since lockdown, and we've realized that the world can actually stop, and everything can stop in a heartbeat. I don't have that attitude anymore. I don't want to do 4 shows a year. I want to do much, much more than that. So actually, beginning of last year, I had my 31st match. And by the end of the year, I was going to completely crank up my schedule from 4 shows a year to 9 shows a year and have my 40th match. And I actually had my 40th match by May. Loads of opportunities came my way. And instead of saying, no, thank you, I've got my 4, I would say, yes, please. So I just want to see what's out there, and I want to have lots of experiences, and I want to work with great rosters that put on great shows. And I want to, I want to be vetted. I want to be there because people think I'm going to help them put on a great show.
Yeah, I think he was mentioning he wants to do a kind of promo on Cody Rhodes.
Oh, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
What can I say about Cody Rhodes?
He said it's Mania 24 just won the Rumble.
All right.
Cody is champion.
Cody is champ, right?
So
mateys, I might be living the dream right now. I might have made 39 other men go flying over the top rope. Men overboard everywhere. But I see darkness on the sky as an American nightmare start swooping over the horizons. Cody Joe, Cody, whoever you are, Cody Rhodes, you have gold. And I want it, matey. I'm coming for you, Cody Rhodes.
Love it. Love it.
That's amazing,
Love it.
dude.
It's amazing.
Dude.
That's why I love professional wrestling, because like when me and Geek were younger, we'd watch wrestling, but we'd also watch, like, we go to a lot of comedy shows. And like comics could go into different stories and take in different stories and act different way with different people in different ways. That's why I think professional wrestling and comedy go like hand in hand, because you could do a certain, say, okay, they want you to be angry, but not look angry. How do you do that? And the wrestlers would always be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then they you can't look angry. You have to sound angry.
Yep.
And there's certain wrestlers I could turn that wheel and you're like, why doesn't he look mad? He sounds mad. Like, oh my gosh, you're like,
Yeah, no, I agree. It's about feeling it, isn't it? You got to feel it. And I think, for me, it's, for me, I want to be in the ring with people that I actually have genuine feelings about. And I want people to know that there is something at stake for whoever's in the ring. Because otherwise you're not, it's like, oh, we just pull two names out of a hat and now they're going to go for it. And in 15 minutes, one of them will be raised victorious and the other one will not be. And, there has to be a stake, there has to be something at stake. Let's do a little bit of cult reference here. Okay. So I've had to do a little bit of digging since I found myself in this time, but, I'll get to the point as quickly as I can, but I'm going to go on tangents as we get there. So one of my fans brought me to the attention of Nintendo's and the Nintendo game called The Turtles in Time. And they did this by taking a video game cover and putting me in it. So I had to do a lot of research. Now, please go and check that out anyway. Brian P. Madden did a fantastic job with that. There were other artists. There were loads of artists that would like message me and say, wow, that guy's amazing. You're so lucky that guy's working with you. It's like, yes, I am. And he completely surprised me with it. I used to go around with a group of ladies called the Velvet Pirettes, and they were in this as well. And he completely, blow by blow, took this video game cover and he put us over the top of it, and he put me in it as well, riding on my custom steel chair, who the fans called Davy Jones's Knucker. And it's just, just that cover told a story. So I know about the Ninja Turtles. I've had, I might have missed the craze, but I know about their works, and I have seen the movie, the original movie, from 1990, 1990, I think it was. Now, have you both seen that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, Turtles in Time. Yeah, I've seen Turtles.
I haven't
in
seen
Time.
it I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've seen it though.
What's at stake in that film?
What's up?
What's at stake in that film? What are they saving? What are they doing?
I think they're saving the ooze, right? They're saving something with the boss. I think it was the boss. I can't remember.
In the second film, yeah, in Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, they're trying to save the ooze, right? Yeah. In the first film, they are basically trying to stop a drug dealer. They're basically trying to stop a drug dealer from peddling his wares. They are trying to stop. It's a group of children that have been brainwashed. It's a very typical story, unfortunately. But if they hadn't succeeded, it would have been like a small mention in the county news, the next day. There was nothing at stake in that film. And yet, how good a film is that film?
The Foot Clan.
There's everything. Yeah, right. The Foot Clan. Exactly. They're trying to stop the Foot Clan. They're trying to stop people. What are the Foot Clan doing? They are just, they're stealing car stereos and they're trying to sell stuff.
And the kids. They're trying to make the kids drug users, drug dealers.
Yeah. It's small time stuff. It's horrible for the people involved, but it's small time stuff. Now you look at the remake where they're trying to sort of, terraform the earth using a dubstep machine like everyone else does nowadays. I would go to the original film every time because within what they've got, they have made me feel the consequences. They have made me feel that shredder needs to be taken down. That shredder needs to be stopped. I believe in that story. And this is what you need to have in every match. You need to want to get behind one of those two people. You need to know where those two people are coming from to be able to do that, to be able to know how they're interacting and how you want to be able to do that.
Isn't it in the original movie? The new movie, that they're aliens and they're not mutants.
I believe that was. I believe they were always mutants. I think they did that as to kind of like wind people up. I think they did that so they let people believe they're going to be aliens to wind people up, so they would keep watching the trailers, so they can be angry about the trailers. But that didn't actually go into the film. I could be wrong.
That always gets me mad when the producer's like, we're going to do this and make everybody think they're turtles. But all in the while, they're aliens. You're like, no. Stop it. Hit him with the newspaper. Stop it, Meg.
No, it's not happening.
That's Geek all the time trying to get me to believe Savargo is a good person.
He is a good person.
He's like, Joe, look at this. He did this. And I'm like,
I mean,
no.
He gave the homeless man an opportunity.
But he beat him up.
He gave him an opportunity to wrestle in his ring, though. He gave him an opportunity.
Joe, if I'm general manager, what do you want me to do with homeless Harry? What opportunity do you want me to give him?
Give him a title shot. He needs a title shot against Sears.
He'd probably appreciate a candlelit supper as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He could eat all he wants.
Good square meal and a little bit of finery as well. That would be nice for him, wouldn't it?
He just has to put a napkin on his lap.
Homeless Harry and Rusty Jack could be a great tag team.
Who would you have him against? Who would you have him sitting opposite, should we say, in a candlelit supper? Who are we going to have homeless Harry with?
Gosh, so many good wrestlers in Savage right now.
I say Rodrick the Rambunctious. Am I right?
Rodrick.
That'd be a fun
curveball at the audience. You're like, wait, why is my music on? What's this?
I'm wrestling homeless Harry now.
I'm already in the ring. What are you guys doing? I'm being set up.
It's like homeless Harry's opponent is me. Hey, all right.
Hey, Geek almost got you.
Go on.
Yeah. Geek almost got you. I heard the impression. I was like, uh-oh.
So, Joe, you mentioned Meg, from Family Guy a second ago.
Yeah.
So to go to one of their, their affiliated shows, Robot Chicken. I'm a big fan of Robot Chicken, and I've done a lot of work with my custom minifigure. Here he is. Obviously, his attire has changed throughout the years, as has mine. I'm not sure if you can see it from there. He's got the stripes on his trousers, and I obviously have fancy sequins.
I could zoom in on that. Hold on. I could
zoom in on 2 legs. It's not easy for me right now. You can see enough, right?
Yeah, because we can see sequins as well. Yeah.
Now we can come back to my fashion sense in a minute.
Yeah, I can zoom in on it.
Oh, do you want me to stand up again?
Yeah. No, with the Lego. Just show the Lego off again.
Oh, so yeah, here we go. So there we go. There we go. Oh, it's looking bluer than it should be.
It looks blue.
It's not blue, but it's appearing very blue right now. No, it's not blue, but it is appearing blue. We do have the stripes, but it's not showing up. Let me see if I can do. Yeah, can you see just about? There should be stripes there.
Yeah, I can see them.
See a hint of
it,
right?
I see them.
Yeah, yeah. So we got the stripes now. I've been doing lots of stuff with my custom Lego figure, and one of the I think it was a producer from Robot Chicken actually commented just a cool comment, like cool, great work, something like that. But that absolutely made my day. I did a lot of Lego stuff during lockdown. In fact, let's drop a few names here. So, I've done lots of photo shoots with a guy called James Musselwhite. Have you heard of a project called Portrait of a Wrestler?
No.
So again, do yourself a favor, look up Portrait of a Wrestler. It's kind of finished now. And it was made into a book, but all the pictures are online, all the pictures are on his pages. He is James Musselwhite. He is part of Musselwhite Photography. The project is called Portrait of a Wrestler. He actually does a lot of work. He's done stuff for AEW. He's photographed Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes. And and he's done a lot of stuff with lots of us guys in the South Coast. I know, so those pictures are worth looking up. But he, the picture that's been used on your poster for today, that's one of his. All my ones from my posters are his pictures because they're fantastic. And I mean, there was a time when I believe that, like, if you needed any sort of like passport to say you're a wrestler, sort of qualification, just like, do you have a Musselwhite picture? Because they're just fantastic, and it shows that you're serious as well. So yeah, but he started doing, he did a few sessions on how to photograph Lego over lockdown, and this really inspired me because there wasn't much else to do, was there? So and that actually was kind of how stuff started with with Savage and Ryan Hendricks and some of the guys that you'll see on Savage now, which is he sort of saw my Lego stuff, and then he started doing some Lego stuff, and then we kind of had a little bit of a Lego war going on, and which still technically hasn't finished. And yeah, a lot of fun's come from that.
Yeah. Also, what would you say your drink of choice is? Because we know you love a lot of rum, but what would you say your drink of choice is right now?
Oh, you know what? I can go other stuff. Like I do. Going back to my roots, sort of born in Cornwall, I could go down the cider route. Yeah, I do like a cider. I can go down the cider route. So I would go down the cider. Yeah, should we? Yeah, no, let's not do any brand names. Let's not promote anyone.
Yeah,
I like a cider. Let's make him work.
Yeah.
Send me ciders and earn my
Exactly.
It's like whenever I drink a certain soda, when I'm doing the podcast Geek, I turn it backwards and make sure I can drink out of the lid, so they don't go, blue can. Wonder who that is.
Yeah, but what do you like to drink? Like, what's your favorite type of alcohol? You'd say like rum or like vodka?
You asking me or Joe?
Oh yeah,
No,
you.
yeah, well, you.
Oh yes, no, I like
pirate,
rum.
the pirate.
Well, look, let me segue into another segue. Like, you can see, like, there's no labels on my bottle. I can't afford labeled bottles. I've finished this one. I can't afford labeled bottles. So I think this is a fantastic time to talk about how, you can buy my merchandise. My merchandise is available. I have a Spreadshirt shop. You can go to my thing. You can put labels on my bottle. I can afford to know what's actually inside my rum. This is a beautiful segue. Thank you, Melky. That was perfect. I'm sure that's exactly what you were getting at.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Exactly what you had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
On my page, you could buy dog bandanas. You got dogs?
Oh yes, I have.
Yeah.
We have a wiener dog. Geek has lives in the house
that's
with
right.
a
Golden Doodle.
golden
Right,
doodle.
golden doodle. But have they got bandanas?
Dexter has one.
He hasn't like closed too much, but he gets very snippy.
Bandana.
I don't know. Maybe
imagine him walking down the street with a branded bandana with something like that on it. I mean,
That's
that'd be
wow.
cool.
That is a trendy dog. People would say.
Mm-hmm.
Good things are becoming your way. They would say to you. And I've got mugs. I've got phone covers, all that kind of stuff, with several logos on. Anyway, it's there. People want to buy it. They know where it is. Go onto my social media pages. There's links at the top. And maybe with your help, I'll be able to know what's inside my alcohol.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to buy labeled alcohol like a responsible human being.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right.
So, I got one more question, Geeks.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead,
So,
Joe.
is there any other place in the world or throughout England that you wanted to, like America or anywhere else in the world, that you would like to travel to wrestle to, and why?
You know what? There were wrestling pirates all over the world, and they always seem to want to sort of get together. So I've had people in Australia said, "Hey, you're a wrestling pirate. I'm a wrestling pirate. Let's meet up." I was like, "Well, that's quite a sale there. Maybe sometime." But it's weird though how like the wrestling pirates, and people seem to want them to get together. People, like what other walk of life do people think? Oh, they both wrestle. They should definitely get together. But in piracy, it seems to be like we need to do this. I even heard once someone talking about like doing a whole show where every wrestler had to be a pirate. That'd be fun, and that could be doable as well. You know, they exist. You know,
Well, there
they're
is
out
a National Talk
there.
Like a Pirate Day, so
And I would, there is, and I would go wherever I needed to go to be part of that. That would be a lot of fun.
So
Preferably near a port, but you
what
think
would
that
you
would.
call? What would you title the show? What would the title of the show be called?
I think that would need a lot of thought. Hello, Gary.
Yeah.
Arg. I would call it R off the top rope.
I would call it ARG-OH.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, there you go.
Doesn't matter.
ARG-OH, right? Arg.
Instead of ROH, it's ROH.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're going to go and book that, so that'd be great. I will look forward to the invitation there.
Pirates booty
Pirates
match.
bounty match.
Geek has to wear a patch and wear a bandana with his headphones. That'd be so funny. The pirate
That-
Do you know
shirt
why
on.
people wore eye patches?
I don't know. I never see that. Like,
that sounds like a show name. Like, you know, you could do like a whole show based on it. Sponsored by Pirates Booty.
oh, jeez.
And it'll be the Pirates Booty match. With the Pirates Booty in the
I'll
in the corner.
purposely look like what's his name when he was dressed like what's his name? Robin Williams was dressed like a pirate in Hook when he was like "Arr," and he started strolling. That'll
Robin
be me.
Williams played Peter Pan, did he not? And it
Yes,
was Dustin Hoffman as Hook.
yes, that was a
And
good yeah.
when he takes off his wig, do you not think if you put a moustache on Ric Flair, they look alike?
Oh my god,
You ever
yes.
tried that?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you're like the coolest guest we had this year so far,
Thank you
man.
very much.
Getting another star on the
Also the
board,
second, aren't
Geek.
It's got to be another star on the list
This
right
is
there.
the third star we're getting in this so far in this season. So
Okay.
far, 3
It's like
fireballs.
it's always in the beginning of the season we hit fire episodes for some reason. You know that it's
all
like
year round. So I think last year we had fire. It's just now we're doing stuff with Savage, and they're actually letting us use the title to do weekends for them. Like,
yeah, Savage
crazy.
Sundays.
So you mentioned the eye patch. Do you know why people wore eye patches? Why sailors wore eye patches?
No,
no,
No. So undoubtedly, you know, some people would lose an eye and want to cover it up, and you know that's a legit thing. But probably not as much as people would have thought. Like there's the joke that people would take the eye patch off and reveal they have the eye, but that could legitimately happen. Like think about what it'd be like 300 years ago. You didn't have electric lights down in the bowels of the ship. It would be dark, but you'd need to see what's happening. You still need to be doing stuff to be able to make the ship move. So people would basically cover their eye up. So they'd have one eye for the light and one eye for the dark. And if they needed to go down very, very quickly into the bottom of the boat, they could just replace the eye and they'd have a patch that was ready to go straight into that darkness, already accustomed to that, you know, to the darkness.
oh, wow, great information, man.
you
Fun fact. There you go.
fact.
So it's not a joke. If you see someone taking their eye patch off and still having an eye, you know, still having their eye underneath, that is not it's not a mistake.
Wow.
Hmm.
This has been so. Do you have any upcoming shows or announcements? Anything that you want to make right now, or?
Yeah, you know what? My debut. Now I've had a few debuts recently. I've like just exploring what I can do in wrestling. I had a fantastic year last year. I won seven titles last year.
What?
I won a trophy. No, 6 titles. I won 8. I won a trophy last year. I won a tournament for a trophy, and I won Quality Wrestling's debuting anytime title. So this title means it's kind of like 24/7 rules, but you could only lose the belt inside a ring. So they've got their own twist on it. So you have to be pinned in a ring. It doesn't have to be a match. You just have to be, you know, in the ring or lulled into the ring or having another match in the ring, and you could lose it. So a very interesting concept. There is the hardcore vegan belt in Savage, and I believe that can be defended 24/7 anywhere. So that piques my interest. That sort of takes that idea to a different level. So having, I was exhausted by the end of it and pretty paranoid, but I'd like to take that idea further and put my body to the test even more. Also last year, I had my debut of emceeing, and that was great because I became like it was a charity show. So the roster was kind of, all people I knew, but coming together for, the purpose of this one show to raise some money for a great cause that gave respite to carers. I was emceeing all night and I was introducing everyone. I had at one point, I actually had to, my most bitter rival, Shred Malice, I've mentioned already, the witch, I had to actually announce him as the winner. And I thought, you know what, I have to do this because he's won and I'm the MC, I have to do this. And then I thought, you know what, why do I have to do that? I can say whatever I want, don't I? So I did say it. And then I thought, no, this is stupid. No one knows the script. Only I know what I'm meant to be saying. I'll just say what I want. So at the end, when I was introducing everyone in the Rumble, and only I knew who was meant to be in the Rumble, I just thought, no, to hell with it. I announced myself as the final competitor, and I ran into that Rumble, and I won that Rumble, and I had a good time.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But it's also fun because, people think, like you're the guy talking all the time. You are the head of the company. They were, coming and talking to me. Well, the face of the company, the front of the company, they know I'm not calling the shots. But I will be having my commentary debut coming up in the next few weeks in Savage. So keep an eye out for that. And that was a lot of fun. There's actually another company that actually asked me to do their commentary. So I might be doing some commentary for another company. I won't mention it yet. They have to, have to put it in, put it down first and get it sorted. But my commentary debut will actually be for Savage, and a few people have actually, requested my services for commentary purposes. So that'll be coming up, and that'll be fun. Putting my name out there and not putting my body on the line in the slightest, just a bit of wear and tear on my mouth, which I can deal with. So yeah. Other than that, I do have a roster announcement coming up soon. So keep an eye out for that as well. And then we'll just see what he brings. I've got a Rumble for Kapow and SWF next week. That will be in Southampton. So that's the 21st. Is that 21st? Yes, Saturday 21st. And we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
But I want to see what this year can bring for me because I won lots and lots of stuff last year.
Good vibes, my friend.
Yeah,
good vibes.
Like good vibes.
Oh wait,
she's late right now, but
she's a little late for the job. So with the mod, she's always late.
She's been drinking that rum too. It's okay. Don't feel bad.
Pirate pets. Do I have any pirate pets? No, I don't, and it's very unusual. From an animal loving point of view, when pirates had, say, things like monkeys and parrots, usually what they were actually doing was taking them back to somewhere like Europe so they could sell them for a lot of money, because that was like the only real trade that would come those sorts of ways, like somebody was doing it without any regulation. So actually, from an animal loving point of view, seeing a pirate with a pet probably wasn't going to be the most animal friendly thing. So it's probably a good idea that I don't have any pets.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, Rodrick, we want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man.
I've had a great time. Awesome. I've waited a long time, and this has lived up to expectation. Thank you, man.
No, dude, this is probably one of our stars for one of our best episodes this year. So
what? Can I just put a few more plugs in? Can I just put a few more plugs in? Yeah. I've got a few. I've got some treasures with me. Okay, so first of all, this is an exclusive knitted Rodrick figure. I am not flogging this. You can't get hold of this. A second one, I was given this as a present by a member of my loyal crew last Christmas, and they actually made a second one to be auctioned off. This is how much fun my audience, my loyal crew are. I have such a great time, and this is why I keep doing what I do, because it just is so much fun. I never quite know what's going to come next. So that's my exclusive knitted figure. This is a book, which I am plugging here. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I'm plugging this book as well. This book is available on Amazon. There are 3 Easter eggs to myself within this. Now, arguably, I might have been sober at the time, and I might have been making a few more dastardly choices than I'm known for now. This was written quite some time ago, but this is a great read. I have read this, and as I say, there are 3 Easter eggs to me within this book. I wonder if you can find them. It's available on Amazon. And just finally, just again, because I do have some fantastic fans, and I want to mention a few right now. I want to mention at Jay Shred, who was the first person to do a piece just of me as fan art, and he's done so much for me over the years, about 20 pieces, I think, over the years. There's Necromonkey 13. You guys know about glitching on computers, right? But have you heard of glitch art?
No,
No.
never heard of that.
So he did this for me a long time ago, but it still just gets my mind. He'll basically just make a computer glitch and turn those little glitchy bits into a picture. And he's done some of my more unique moves as glitch art and done a portrait of me as glitch art. Lawrence Morgan from Lawrence Morgan Art. He's got his own sort of form of pointillism. Like, the art with the dots. He's got his own form of how to make dots, and he'll do that. Brian P. Madden, we already mentioned. And this is one from RT April. This was the first thing she did to me. She presented this to me at the end of Quality Mania. If you go onto my Instagram page, you can see this me being handed this pin to the start. This is a collage that she did. I just have such wonderful crew mateys. I really do. Oh, sorry, do you want to see it again? I have such wonderful crew, and you really do keep me going. I never quite know what's going to happen next and where things are going to go. So, thank you very much. And yeah, thank you guys for having me on the show.
No problem. No problem. Well, Geek, get us back on the screen. What did he do? Hello?
Oh, you know what? While I'm thinking about it, there is one more thing I've got in the pipeline. Yeah. I would like to think there's going to be no contention when I say that I clearly understand how to look fashionable and how to wear a set of clothes. So I am going to take my wonderful eye for how to look great, and I am going to help people to look as wonderful as I do. I'm not going to say anything more at the moment, but keep an eye out on my social media pages. I think this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast.
Rodrick,
I'm Joe Panther III.
Go ahead.
So go on, go to your. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say. I want to say thanks, Rodrick, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You do the send off, Geek.
I'm the Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III.
And I am Rodrick Rackham, better known as Rodrick the Rambunctious.
And we will catch you in the next one.